Assalamu alaikum. How are you, my dear friends? All of us want to thrive. All of us want to develop well, grow well. Every time we see somebody who has thrived, who has developed well, we feel like I too should have been doing the same. Sometimes even we feel envious. Dear friends, one thing is there. And that one thing is that all of us want to thrive and we must be thriving as well. We must be flourishing because the life cannot be enjoyed well without that at all. Dear friends, how to thrive? How to thrive? What are the qualities of those people who are thriving, developing, growing at a faster pace? Let's look upon this as it has been made our topic of our today's discussion. We have listed 10 such things which can make a person thrive. For me, for you, for each one of us. These 10 things are really, really important. And it will ensure that we are thriving, developing, growing at a faster pace. What are these 10 things, by the way? Let's look upon it one by one. First of all, it is self acceptance. First of all, it is self acceptance. We need to accept ourselves. This seems a bit astonishing that what is meant by the self acceptance. If I don't accept myself, who else will do this? That is a common and general answer. But the trouble is that indeed, many of us have not accepted themselves at all. Many of us have not accepted themselves at all. We need to do that. And what is meant by the self acceptance? It is like accepting ourselves with all of our weaknesses. Does it mean that we are happy with the weaknesses and we don't need to get rid of these? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There must be a constant struggle to improve in every sector, to improve in our habits and attitudes, to be a better person of mindset. We need to improve, but at the same time, if a person is sick, if a person is diseased, having certain several diseases, troubles, should it mean that they should not be treated at all? Every patient needs to be given the medical treatment. And it is only possible if at all we are accepting the disease is there, and we need to get rid of it. At the same time, we need to be very patient. Dear friends, self accepting is not different from that at all. We have to accept ourselves with all of our strengths and weaknesses, and there must be a SWOT analysis made by we ourselves. What is this SWOT analysis? It is like, what are my strengths? We need to keep finding our strengths and keep enlisting in our mind at least. Then, what are the chances? What kind of opportunities I may get because of my strengths? Then, what are my weaknesses? Keep enlisting all that. What kind of threats I might come across because of these weaknesses of mine? So, I think that we need to keep analyzing. We need to keep making a SWOT analysis. It is very, very important indeed. Dear friends, we need to do all that, you know, and accepting self acceptance is the number one thing. The number two thing is it is balanced life. We need to accept ourselves and we need to make a balanced life. We need not to lose the balance at all. Work hard, that is fine. Then it is the time to relax and refresh ourselves. Then it is the time to recharge ourselves, replenish ourselves. That is very, very important indeed. It cannot be ignored, it cannot be overlooked at all. So, my dear friends, we need to develop a balanced life. And there are people who are not working, who don't want to work, who don't want to improve, who are not making any kind of struggle at all, who are not doing the sacrifices for their good future. This that is absolutely wrong. But at the same time, there are people who are workaholics. We don't need to become a workaholic person at all. Rather, we need to develop a balanced life. Nothing is as good as a balanced life. It is extremely, extremely important. So that is the number two. Number three, the third thing, that is cultivating healthy relationships. Cultivating healthy relationships, and abandoning, minimizing, getting rid of the toxic and the unhealthy relationships. I think that is really important, that we are seen cultivating the healthy relationships. Healthy relationships are more important than anything else. So the healthy relationships are one of the most important things. It must be one of the priorities. And if at all there are no healthy relationships, I think the life cannot be balanced at all. But if at all there are certain toxic relationships, I think these toxic relationships, either it should be disconnected altogether, or it be minimized. Otherwise, if at all we are allowing them to continue, these relationships to continue, I think that will be quite a destruction. So we should cultivate the healthy relationships, and that is the point number three. If we want to, if at all we want to grow and develop, if we want to thrive. The number four is lifelong learning. Lifelong learning. Lifelong learning. Learning and learning. Because if at all we want to improve, we want to develop, we want to thrive, it is absolutely impossible if at all we are not learning. So learning and growing, these are automatically, these go hand in hand, and these are interconnected. The learning automatically result in improving ourselves. And if at all somebody is not improving, it only means that they are not learning. So learning, continuous learning, learning throughout our life. We must declare ourselves as a student for life. Although a person does keep learning automatically, but if at all there are certain people, these certain people have made the conscious decision that we are going to stay a student for life, and I shall keep learning as long as I'm alive. Learning becomes their priority. And it's not like, whatever bitter experience they undergo, and only then they will learn. No, they will keep learning. There are people who learn only and only once they experience something very bitter. I think this is not a good situation at all. We need to keep learning whatever the situation is, whether experiences are pleasant or unpleasant, bitter or sweet, whatever type of experiences are. Not only that we need to learn from our experiences, we need to learn from our observation. We need to learn from the knowledge and the wisdom which has been developed by other people. We need to keep learning. That is a lifelong learning. It is extremely important. And then the next is, the fifth is compassion and empathy. Compassion and empathy. If at all we don't have a compassion, we are not a kind-hearted person. I think it's not being a human at all. And if at all somebody is a does not have the empathy, compassion and empathy. Empathy means trying to put ourselves into the shoes of another person, and then only trying to understand what if at all what they have done. I too might have been doing the same thing. If I were in their place, I think that we need to keep learning. We need to develop the compassion and the empathy. And then it is the sixth is pursuit of passion. Pursuit of passion. First of all, we need to identify. We need to make an identification that what are my passions, because my passions are my life. If at all I eradicate the passions out of my life, I think will be nothing left at all. So I need to develop the. I need to identify. I need to pursue my passions. Passions, passions. Pursuing my passions make my life colorful, makes my life enjoyable, makes my life, a pride for me. And then the seventh is resilience. Resilience is very, very, very important. and I need to become a resilient person. I need to become a resilient person. I need to become flexible person. There will be troubles, there will be troubles, there will be troubles, you know. And these troubles, there will be setbacks, there will be setbacks. But if at all a person is not flexible or resilient, what is going to happen then? They will not be able to recover at all, or at least their recovery will be painfully slow. I think that what I need to do is, what each one of us need to do is, that we need to develop the resilience. Resilience is bouncing back quickly after every setback, after the change, whatever the change. If there is a change of situation, I think we should be able to embrace it. We should be able to adopt it. Adopting the change, embracing the change, and bouncing back from the setback, that is called the resilience. I think that we need to become resilient. We need to develop, we need to keep developing the resilience in ourselves. And then the eighth is mindfulness. Mindfulness, what is this mindfulness? If at all I define it in English, it would mean a state of mind achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations. So I think that mindfulness, if at all we simplify it a lot, it would mean actually that I should be focusing on the present moment. So mindfulness, it means neither worrying about the future. Simply we need to plan it, nor regretting about the past. Simply we need to learn it and learn from the past, and instead of worrying, instead of regretting it, preparing and planning for the future instead of worrying about it, then focusing upon our today, and then focusing upon our present moment. So that is called the mindfulness. And the ninth is, my dear friend, it is the self-care. Self-care, self-care is very important in the sense, because if at all I don't take care of myself, who else is going to do that? Because it's me only who is 24/7 with me. Upon then another thing is that other people have their own pressing problems and priorities. Why will they make it a priority to take care of myself? I need to make it as a top priority of mine, one of the most priority item, self-care. And I need to practice the self-care, self-care. And the 10th and the last is gratitude. I need to become grateful person, you need to become grateful person, each one of us need to become grateful. Grateful for the life we have got. Grateful that if at all we have got a normal body, even if at all the person is not having the normal body, I think still there is a lot to be taken care. Still there is a lot, still there is a lot I think that we need to do with ourselves, and we need to become grateful, and we need to become very much grateful and happy and satisfied with our previous life. Also, we need to become grateful that we have been given and gifted with a life. I think it is really important to become grateful. Being grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the one hand, being grateful to our parents on the other hand, being grateful to all the people who have done even a very small favor to us, being grateful to the society as a whole. I think it is the gratefulness. Instead of keep criticizing, instead of keep complaining, instead of keep ridiculing someone else, instead of keep taking anything else for granted, taking anything else for granted, it is the time, it is the right time, it is the best time, it is the right thing, it is the best thing to become a grateful person, to become a grateful human being. Thank you very much, my dear friends and fellows. And these are the 10 things I think I need to take care of if at all we want to thrive. If at all we want to thrive, we want to become a happy person, we want to grow and develop, all what is needed is that let's start practicing these 10 things. And these 10 things will ensure that we people are developing and growing with the passage of time. Thank you very much, my dear friends.